So I never thought of making this video. I wanted to take some time to address the President of the United States, Joe Biden, and the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin. Because I think me, like a lot of people today, are looking at what's going on the border of the Ukraine, on the border of Kazakhstan as well. And I feel lost and I feel a bit helpless about, like, well, how do I stop what everybody else sees as inevitable? Because I see far ahead of this, and I can't see a world where the US and NATO come into conflict and then not end up some kind of nuclear escalation, and it being the end of it all. We live on such a small planet, and we already know, we've seen, we should have learned by now that, especially with climate change bearing down on us in the way that it is, that what one person does to another affects everyone. I think that's one of the biggest lessons I've had to learn personally as well. And I know that you're both men of great pride, and that you both love your countries. Otherwise you wouldn't be doing any of this. And I'm sure maybe you look at me, who's this young man, to tell me that I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I have the experience, I have lived a long life, and you have. I mean, I can't speak to the experience that you have. But I fear that sometimes we all get lost in the history of border disputes and being able to feed our populations, needing certain resources, and all of the, like, day-to-day, like, brass tacks of running a country, so much that it can blind you to the bigger picture. And the reality is that none of these countries exist. They are fictions that we have created, albeit over centuries, and we already have everything that we need. It's just a matter of arranging things so they get to the right place. Now, I appreciate that Russia, yourself, Putin, may feel surrounded right now, and Biden and the US, you may feel that everything to do with the cybercrime rampage that Russia's been on, and all of the testing of our democratic systems has been completely, was driven away any concept of coming together and having empathy for one another again. But I hope that before you order the lives of people of human beings like ourselves, with families, with dreams, with an entire life of experience that they could lead, before you order them to just die for something that can be solved between two people. I don't know, maybe I read Don Quixote recently. It's a Spanish book about a knight who, a man who believes himself a knight and is holding on to the old chivalrous values in a world where knights have disappeared. And people look at him and they laugh, and they make fun of him, they amuse him, he believes that windmills are dragons. And it's ultimately about the folly of a man holding on to these values, and sometimes I feel like that. Because I believe that leaders should come to the table together and face down one another and come to an agreement together before putting people in the line of fire. Because if that happens, that's a failure of their own leadership. So on that basis, that is why I'm coming to both of you today and offering an olive branch where you two may not offer it to one another. I don't know how to solve these complex geopolitical issues. That isn't for me to solve. All I really know how to do is to talk and to see what other people are feeling. I just want everybody to get along. I do not know why that is so hard. I believe in both of you. And your abilities to find a peaceful solution to this. Please don't prove me wrong. For all our sakes.